This income generating account just continues to get better and better every single day. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video, we're going to talk about some of the purchases we made in this account. But if you're new to the channel, this is an income generating account where we're using cash secured puts, covered calls, credit spreads, and dividends in order to generate weekly income. So with that being said, let's take a look at all the moves we did today. First off, ULTY, they announced their distribution payout yesterday, a little under 6 cents. That's extremely disappointing, but I'm down to just 505 shares, so it doesn't really matter to me that much. Just a couple bucks extra every week. So that was $30 we're going to get. And then before I talk about the next one, as you can see, we have a lot of options open. I say it in every video, I think selling cash secured puts and covered calls are the best and easiest way to generate income. You are getting paid just to agree to buy or sell something. I absolutely love it. But guys, always remember, my trades are my opinions. They should never, ever be taken as financial advice. Anyway, we'll get down to the few stocks I actually do own. Let's find YBIT. So, YBIT, we have 500 shares. They announced their payout just under 7 cents this week. So that is going to give us like 38 bucks and ULTY about 30. So all in all, I guesstimated around $65 we would get paid this week from those two. I took that money and I put it into TSYY. I purchased, let's see how much I purchased today. I purchased $65 worth. It got me a few more shares, so I am up to 891 shares. I'm going to get this to 1,000 shares in the next couple of weeks. It'll be here before we know it. And then once we hit that 1,000 shares, just like with ULTY and YBIT, we will have reached our goal and we will start investing into another income generator. I have two forms of dividend payers in my account, ultra yielders and my favorite stable high yielders. And I call the ultra yielders of TSYY and COYY, which we have 408 shares. I want to get 500 of those. I need 92 more shares of that and 109 more shares of the TSYY to get me my 1,000 and 500 goal. Once I have those goals met, I will move to our next ultra yield income generator. I have 3 in mind, and I'm going to let the premium generals decide which one I go with because I'm good with all 3. And I'll talk about them here a little bit later. But now, so with that, we did purchase, like I said, some shares of TSYY today. We also put some money into PIMCO, PDI. Anytime it's under 18 bucks, I've said it before, I want to try to own as many as I can. PDI is my all-time favorite dividend payer, and there's honestly not even a close second. That is my favorite yielder. I've owned it in multiple portfolios, multiple brokerages, and the other ones, my cost average is around 18 bucks. So here at a 17.75 cost average, I have 558 shares. I put 20 shares, which is 360 bucks into PDI today, getting me up to 558 shares. I want to get this to 3,000 shares. I am getting closer. No, I'm sorry. I want to get this to 1,000 shares. Sorry. 1,000 shares is my goal here. PDI is one of the high yielders, but I don't have that in the ultra yield category like I do with TSYY and COYY or ULTY or YBIT. This fund is pays a good dividend once a month, 22 cents a month essentially, fantastic, and it offers a little bit more stabilization in share price. And in this account, I'm taking advantage of margin, which I just started recently doing for this account. And in order to be able to truly maximize margin, you need some stable plays. You can't margin all these into high yield funds. Otherwise, your account value is going to decrease quickly. The ability and the accessibility of margin is going to decrease because your share value is decreasing and everything like that. So there's a couple things that tie into it. But PDI and the cornerstone funds of CLM and CRF, they pay a great dividend. And before the yield boosters came out, they were top dogs in my eyes and in terms of payers. But they still pay, between 15 at 20%, and that's a fantastic yield. And they offer, again, a little bit more stabilization, and we need that if we're trying to maximize our margin. So I do have 1,200 shares of each of those. I want to get that to 3,000 shares apiece by the end of 2026. PDI, I'd like to have 1,000 shares by the end of February of 2026. That's the one I don't know if I'm going to be able to meet. That's a lofty goal, but we're going to try. We will try. We will sell options, generate our income, take that income, invest it into funds like PDI, things like that. We are using income to strengthen other forms of income, using income to grow the account. We are taking advantage of some margin, but I want to preface this. I'm taking advantage of margin with cash secured puts, which again, that means I'm agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. I would never sell a put on something I'm not okay with owning. So I'm using margin there, and I'm using a little bit of margin in the cornerstone funds and PDI. But I am not using margin in the ultra high yield funds because, again, I don't want to put that risk out there. ORC is another yielder. They're a REIT. They pay every single month. I would like to get this to 1,000 shares. This also by the end of 2026. I don't think that'll be too hard for us to do. That 1,000 shares gives us another $120 a month from them. And again, as interest rates go down, I expect the REITs to increase in price. So I do see a little bit of share appreciation coming from ORC, which will be nice again for the margin. Overall, green day in the portfolio, as you can see, up $930 in the trading hours, down $13 after hours. But, I always want to preface this. I don't care about the account total. It doesn't really mean too much to me. I'm focused on generating income. And as we generate the income, we will grow the account that way. So the focus is more so on the income we can generate rather than the goal or the total of the account. Because you know what? Just like today being a green day, yesterday, the other day, a couple days were red days. So, the account value is going to go up and down. We're maximizing our purchases, making moves, generating income, and growing the account using income. So I love it. And I do want to jump over to my trade history because I always want full transparency. I'd never hide any of my trades or anything like that. So let's jump over there, take a look. But before I do that, I want to give a quick shout out to the beautiful Premium Generals. It's a private group where I post exclusive content such as educational videos on how to sell cash secured puts, how to sell covered calls, how to do credit spreads, how to do debit spreads, as well as private portfolio updates. Any changes I'm making in the account, every trade that I make, when I make it, I post in here. I have like 70 videos I post in here 4 to 6 days a week. Like I said, private portfolio updates, any changes I am making to the account. And there's a ton of videos in here, guys. I also have posts and polls and things like that. So I think there's a lot of great information. It's $10, and you get to see your beautiful face and name in every single one of my videos. So would love to have you. Come check it out. $10, and might learn something, get to be in some videos, and have some fun. So also, I do have a Fiverr. I will put that link in the description below. That's for a little bit more one-on-one, in-depth option selling. And then finally, on top of that, guys, if you would help me out, subscribe to the channel, leave a like. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We are on that journey, and we are growing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And with that being said, let's get back into the video. Okay, so here we are in our trade history. I was assigned the MSTU $5 put. That's a double leveraged fund on MicroStrategy. Whew, MicroStrategy taking a beating. So I was assigned at the $5 strike. I've rolled that quite a few times and captured credit. So the reality of the situation, my cost average on that fund is probably like $1.50 or $2, but that's okay. I'm going to sell covered calls on it next week, not doing it this week. I've already kind of hit my goals for the week, so no need to sell it this week to capture some income. I will wait till next week. SABR, we collected $34 on selling a covered call. Again, when you sell a covered call, you're agreeing to sell a stock for a predetermined price. Nice income. RIG, we rolled a cash secured put position out, capturing $50 there. Same thing, we opened a new position on ACHR, $7 put. I'm agreeing to buy this stock for $7. I got paid $80. That is fantastic. That's options income coming in this week. Dividends, a heavier dividend this week. So we started the week with $132 from TSYY and $78 from COYY. With our purchases that we have had this week, that amount is going to increase for next week. Obviously, if they decrease their yield, which they probably will, our price will go down. But we have increased our shares, especially in COYY. We are over 400 shares at the time of this dividend. How many? Yeah, we only had 267 shares on the last one. So, again, now we're at 400 shares. I'm expecting to get over $100 from COYY next week, around 130 from TSYY, 140. So that should be around a $240 paycheck to start the week. Can't beat it. Cornerstones, they pay monthly for us. CLM, we have 1,200 shares now. At the time of their last ex-dividend, we had 800. So we got $97 going to hit the account Friday. Next month's distribution from them is going to be pretty awesome because, again, we have 1,200 shares of that. CRF, we had 1,000 at the time. We now have 1,200. So we're getting to, a little over $200 here. That's just fantastic. And then we're going to have another 60-some dollars going to hit the account Friday from ULTY and YBIT. Now, they might not actually hit the account until next week, but the way it works is I count them in this week's payout because they would have been in there this week if not for the holiday. Which reminds me, guys, I want to wish you a happy holiday, Thanksgiving, if you're celebrating, things like that. Enjoy time with the family. Market is not open tomorrow, so no moves for me. I think Friday, Black Friday, the market is open, but half day, I'll have to check. If I would do anything, it would only be a couple purchases for, like PDI or one of the Cornerstone funds or ORC, as I try to increase the number of funds and shares I have of those to get to my goal. And again, as the value in those stocks that I'm buying go up, the more available margin I'm going to have. I got $93,000 of buying power available. I'm not going to just deploy it all out at once. I will deploy it a little bit at a time because the reality of the situation is we could go into a full year of pullbacks, and I want to have cash available. We could go into a full year of the market running up again. I don't know, but I want to have cash regardless, and I would rather buy incrementally rather than all out at one time. That's always worked out better for me when I do it that way, when I'm a little bit more patient. ULTY was an example of this year in this account where I should not have purchased so many at one time. And I've said it like 6 videos in a row. I'm probably annoying. I am going to print out my report on Robinhood to see where I landed with ULTY, up or down, even. I honestly think I ended up still, but again, I could have made a lot more income had I just been selling options or, heck, even investing them into a little bit more stable funds or doing what I'm doing now where I'm just getting a few hundred and stopping. But lessons learned, and even though I've been investing for a long time, I still make those same mistakes. So it happens, and we grow from them. And with that being said, guys, I do appreciate each and every single one of you. Next week, we have some good moves and good plans on the agenda, but we'll talk about those at a later date. And with that being said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.